Okay, having some technical difficulties, so let me see. Double click. We're having some technical difficulties. I've tried a couple times and it hasn't worked out ideally. So, and here's why. I'm trying to hook it into the X shot so that I can hold the camera away from me while I walk, and we'll see if this works this time. Alright, it appears to be working. Great. So let me know if you can hear me well. I'm using my Bluetooth headset again. If you're here listening, just type in that you can hear me well, and I'll try to keep it as steady as possible. Let me see. Yep. Yes. Okay, great. And I can't read who it is. Alright, there we are. Cool. Thank you. So you can hear me well. And here we are on the journey to Meisner Park in Boca Raton. My name's Tom Beal, and this is beautiful, sunny South Florida. It is a little bit sunny now. It's been raining a little bit today. Let me see what that says. I missed that. Uh-oh, I missed that. If you can post it again. The sunglasses, along with the distance, doesn't make it easy to read, so I have to hold it a little closer to my head. When I see comments come in, I will try to read them and answer them. So here's the deal. I'm walking to Meisner Park. I'm meeting with, hello from Indiana. I'm meeting with a client for some lunch, and prior to leaving, it stopped raining, which is good. That way I was able to get my walk in, because it was raining pretty hard this morning. I didn't get my normal walk in. Hello from Holland. All right, all the way from Holland. Welcome. So now I'm getting a little walk in prior to the meeting with my client. Hey, how's it going? And right before leaving, I got a notification on Facebook that Tim Ferriss posted a new blog post, and I looked at it and read it and was thankful that he had the courage to write this. And this is something he hasn't shared. Hello from Netherlands. Good to see you. He hasn't shared with his family, with his girlfriends. It's a deep, dark secret he's kept since 1999 when this was happening to him. And what was happening was suicidal thoughts. And it's funny because, well, it's not funny. It's a very serious topic. But yesterday I posted a podcast that if you haven't heard it, you definitely want to go take a listen. It's at maketodaygreat.com. maketodaygreat.com. And the last podcast episode I created was yesterday, and it talked about how to handle overwhelming problems. And it in essence should be seemingly overwhelming problems, but we feel overwhelmed when we feel overwhelmed. So when we feel overwhelmed, I gave some insights that I felt could be helpful to you or anyone else who's dealing with some difficulties or struggles or challenges that you feel might be a little out of your norm. Or you kind of feel blindsided, or like look up to God and say, hey God, I know you said you won't give me any troubles or challenges that I can't handle. This one seems like a little bit big, out of my league. So I put that together, and that's at maketodaygreat.com. That was yesterday. And then today, see that blog post from Tim Ferriss, and I commend him for putting that out there, because that's kind of a taboo topic. Not many people openly share that. And you know, when do we rewind to last year, when we all got word that Robin Williams chose to take his own life? And that really opened people's eyes up to, like, wow, that's someone who has positively impacted through his expertise of being a comedian and being an actor for decades upon decades, all the way Mork and Mindy, and prior to that, and after Mork and Mindy, all the numerous movies that he's participated in and made us smile, made us laugh, made us cry, in all the different roles that he's played. But no one knew the inner turmoil that he was going through. And similarly, Tim Ferriss put that article out today in his blog, which if you go to facebook.com/Tom Beal, you can see my recent post about that, or facebook.com/Tom Beal fans, and you'll see it posted there as well. It's worth a read, and it really puts things in perspective, and he shares exactly what led up to him planning taking his own life, and he goes into detail about what every step along that path was that led him to feel there was no hope, there was no worthy reason to stay around. And by a chance happening, he put oops/thank God when what happened is he went to a library to get this book on suicide, and it was out, and he reserved it. So, and what he didn't realize, and you'll read this in the blog, what he didn't realize is, since he had moved off campus, when that reservation came in, it didn't come to where he was living. It went to his mother's house. And his mother's house got the card saying, hey, congratulations, that book on suicide you've been waiting for is here. And his mother called him. He's like, what's this book? And he made up a quick excuse. But had that not happened, Tim Ferriss, who's numerous New York Times bestselling author, has impacted many, many lives with the 4-hour work week in particular. That book right there put him on the map. Here he was going through those difficult times at Princeton. And then at the end, I like how he says, oh, boo-hoo, worried about poor grades at Princeton, boo-hoo. But he shares, like, that's exactly it. When whatever someone's going through, in their mind, it's a big deal. And in that current moment, it's a big deal. But, 5-10 years later, it's absolutely meaningless. But he was in that position to where that was a serious thing. And I'm bringing this up because there was another post this morning that I read that I wanted to share, but it was almost like, hey, dear friends, whether we're close or just casual friends, everybody has difficult times. And it goes on in depth, and that's at facebook.com/Tom Beal as well. And I wanted to share that, got caught up in doing some stuff, and then I saw the post from Tim Ferriss and knew that I had to share that along with that Tim link. So what's the point of all this? The point of all this ties all together, because yesterday I did the podcast on how to deal with seemingly overwhelming problems. And I would highly recommend you go take a look at that. It make today great. You can go to facebook.com/Tom Beal to find the Tim Ferriss article that he recently posted. And the follow-up to that is I have a good friend and a client who's also passionate about helping people who have depression, who have panic attacks, who have anxiety, and he's passionate about helping these people because he went through this. He had his path that was going through each and every one of those areas, to include insomnia at times as well. And it's now his passion to help others who are going through that. So I've been helping him create his product and create the platform which will allow him to impact and save lives, literally. And when I saw Tim Ferriss's article today, I said, wow, I actually reached out to him. His name is Ken Maget, Kenmaget. You can go look him up on Facebook and or do a Google search. Go to, type in iTunes podcast, Pathway to Peace of Mind. So search for, in Google, iTunes podcast, Pathway to Peace of Mind, and you will see his podcast that he has coming out, or it's already out, that's helping people understand they're not alone, that are going through difficult times. So I've been in that mindset of helping people and recognizing that this is something that, kind of like back in the 60s and 70s, people kept quiet if their family members were alcoholics. The whole town knew that they had an alcoholic family member, but we kept it a secret, right? And I say we because my grandmother was an alcoholic. Man, there's stories for ages about that whole experience. But she's a loving person, just had that one thing that, definitely creates lots of stories and lots of learning lessons along the journey. But that stigma now is almost with mental health. So people going through depression, anxiety, panic attacks, insomnia, all that, people are medicated, right? That's it. They go to the doctor, they get medicated, and all right, go fix yourself. Stop worrying, get over it, and treat it as something that's kind of taboo to speak about. So I was very excited to see someone at the caliber of Tim Ferriss share his personal story. I brought up Robin Williams. He's one of many. Heath Ledger, he was an actor in his prime who overdosed on drugs, I believe, but that's still a pattern and path that if someone didn't have those types of symptoms, probably wouldn't seek those ending of life type of activities. And those are just the well-known people. What about the everyday person? And what about the people that even Tim Ferriss mentions, like Princeton, Harvard? These are the smartest minds in our country that are being stressed out over grades and willing to take their life over a grade or over some type of stressful situation, whether it's a breakup of a girlfriend or boyfriend, whether it's a divorce, whether it's a bankruptcy. All these different scenarios that people are going through where they feel, you know what? They just feel depressed. They feel there's no way out. And Ken Maget, Kenmaget, search for iTunes podcast Pathway to Peace of Mind, is put together a program that he'll be offering shortly that really goes through his story, shares his results and his findings, and helps people that are going through those difficult times with a step-by-step, easy to follow process to get from where they are to where they can be. So I'm pretty excited to be helping with that, and very excited that Tim Ferriss opened people's eyes up to the fact that no one is immune to this. And it's probably a much deeper problem than most anyone would ever realize. I don't know what the statistics are as far as the medications that people are on in the United States, but it's staggering from the numbers that I've heard as far as how many people are medicated for depression, anxiety, panic attacks, and more. So that is the talk. There you go. You can also talk about depression. Bruce? Okay, very nice. Well, I definitely would love to connect you with Ken Maget. He's in the 60-Day Success Bootcamp community, and I definitely would love to have you connect. And it's really about spreading the awareness and opening people's eyes and helping people who are in those difficult positions reach out so that they can get some people that understand, they get some people that recognize that they're not alone, it's not their fault, and there are steps that they can take to help gain some peace of mind and help gain some light at the end of the tunnel type of scenarios. So that's pretty exciting. So, and by the way, the 60-Day Success Bootcamp is a tremendous community. Got out with your own power. Absolutely. Everyone has their own path. And, there's just like there's a million ways to earn $1 million, there's a million ways for someone who's in those deep, dark places, whether it's depression, anxiety, panic attacks, insomnia. There's a million different ways of how to do it. And the thing is to expose as many different ways as possible, because one way resonates with a certain amount of people, another way resonates with another amount of people. And that's why in the personal development age, what confused me for a long time was when I was a sales manager, I would try to push Brian Tracy or Zig Ziglar or Tony Robbins on my people, my salespeople, and let them know like their lives would change. And what was surprising to me was I had people come back and say, I hate Zig. I hate Zig Ziglar. I hate that southern drawl, and I hate listening to him. And I'm like, what? How can anybody listen to Zig and hate him? Like, the guy is a cool person, right? And I had people say they hated Brian Tracy. I'm like, how can you hate Brian Tracy? All the wisdom that he's sharing is going to transform your results. And I had people that said they hated Tony Robbins because of his, he was too high energy, and that's fake. And he's all fake. And everyone's going to have their own opinion, And I for a while, tried to convince them of how they were awesome, and realized, hey, to each their own. Some people will resonate with Zig, some won't. Some will resonate with Brian Tracy, some won't. Some will resonate with Tony Robbins, some won't. And that's okay. And that's why my message works, and your message works, and Ken's messages work, and Tim Ferriss's message works. It resonates with some people, and it doesn't resonate with others. But the more we get out the word, the more different perspectives there are that will resonate with a larger group of those people. So here's the old adage in sales: some will, some won't, so what next? So just put your best foot forward, share your insights to the best of your capabilities, and put the proper steps so that the people in your target market can gain benefit from it. But go at it with, look, I have life-transforming information. Some will resonate with it, some won't. So what next? All right, so this is another test. All right, very cool. This is another test, so some quick points to remember. Go to MakeTodayGreat.com. There's a podcast that I shared yesterday about how to deal with overwhelming problems. Had some great feedback on that. Some of it's posted as comments, but most of them were reached out to me as personal messages, saying you have no idea how pertinent that was. That came at the right time, and that feels good. I hope it's the right time for you and some good information to share. Then you can go to Facebook.com/Tom Beal to see the post that I just made with Tim Ferriss, sharing his suicide plan that he had back when he was a senior at Princeton. And that is about it. I guess you could also Google search Tim Ferriss suicide, and it'll probably go right directly to his blog post, I'm sure. But if you are in that deep dark place, Tim has some tremendous resources that can assist you. And even if you aren't in that deep dark place, it's very helpful. You know, similar to like my podcast yesterday, MakeTodayGreat.com, on how to deal with overwhelming problems. Hey, if we don't have problems, that means we're not here alive. We're dead. We're 6 feet under. We're here. If we're here breathing, you're going to have problems. It's just a matter of how to frame that and how to be able to handle those problems and keep on trucking. All right, this is Tom Beal. I hope you like this. If so, go ahead and hit the like button here, hit the screen, bam, bam, bam. Show me some love, and I look forward to connecting with you soon. Hey, my man Ty Cohen just joined. I'm just signing off, but it was a good one. Talking about Tim Ferriss, his recent blog post today, sharing his suicide plans when he was a senior at Princeton, and talking about how I just did a podcast yesterday discussing how to deal with overwhelming problems at MakeTodayGreat.com. So I'm here at Meisner Park shortly, and you know what? I'll stick around for a little bit. I'll show you Meisner Park. I'll turn the camera around. Yeah, that's a strong post, Ty, and I'm glad that he had the courage to share that, because it's kind of a taboo topic that not many people are talking about, and I feel it's a disservice to humanity by not bringing it up, because the more it's open, the more it's talked about, the more solutions are going to be able to be provided for college students, for mothers and fathers and CEOs and normal, blue collar and white collar workers. It's something that doesn't discriminate by age, gender, race, religion, sex, all that. So it's something that I feel needs to be discussed openly and from a solution-oriented standpoint, not just drugging society and making them comatose children. And what you're seeing here is the front of Meisner Park. I'm just coming in the main entrance here. In the winter, there's a huge Christmas tree right about here, right on the other side of that garden. Huge Christmas tree. Yeah, exactly. No drugging. Yeah, many other coping mechanisms too. You're absolutely right. Man, it's just a topic that I feel its time has come. You know, I talked about back in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, families kept secret, the alcoholic or two in their family. And then, everyone in the community already knew, but we kept it a secret. Now it's a matter of just bringing it out in the open. Stop keeping secrets. So over here is a nice little Jazzy's nightlife. They have clubs over there. The guy who sang Jesse's Girl, Rick Springfield, was there not too long ago. And a couple other well-known artists. That's Lord and Taylor. We got Meisner Park Starbucks over there. We've got a nice little place to eat, Yard House. I missed that last comment. Whoever commented that, if you want to say it again, I can see it. One thing I haven't learned yet is how to figure out how to go back and find other comments. So this is Meisner coming from the main entrance. Obviously beautiful. Lots of great things. iPick over there. Cool stuff, Tom. I'm gonna run spring. All right, man. Hey, I will, my brother. Thank you for sharing this with me, and look forward to seeing some of your posts coming up soon. iPick over there. For those who don't have iPick in their town, it's an awesome place to go watch a movie. You can get in the seats that recline and order your food and stuff like that. They bring it out to you. Pretty cool. Then a couple other restaurants and jewelry stores. A lot of jewelry stores in here. Some clothing stores. This is it. All right. I will leave you with that. Looks totally very nice. Very nice. So thank you for joining. if you like this, go ahead and hit the screen, tap it, show me some love, and I look forward to sharing some more valuable information in the near future. Until then, make today great.